hear me. If you can hear me, then we good. We live. Okay? I am Jimmy Page. Jimmy with the smoke. Jimmy the God. Address me as such. Welcome to the Kollective Unconscious Podcast. Today, we did a poll on Facebook, Instagram, all that, on the Kollective Unconscious Podcast page, and my page, the Real Jimmy page, and on my Facebook page. We did a poll between positive versus negative thinking and curse words, and curse words is the topic that won for today. We're still going to eventually do the positive and negative thinking, maybe a couple weeks from now, maybe next week, depends on, whichever one I want to do. But today, we are doing, and I just happen to be recording this today, so I'm dropping this tonight at 7 p.m. Today, we are going to be discussing curse words, okay? Now, most people probably hear curse words and automatically think of words like fuck, shit, damn, bitch, etc., etc. And personally, I don't see these as curse words at all, because who or what are you cursing? What exactly do you curse? I mean, of course, if you call somebody a bitch, you're cursing that person, maybe, who knows? And who deemed these as curse words? Like, we don't know. Somebody said these are curse words, so they don't like these words, and then they all of a sudden became bad words. The older generation, probably like the baby boomers, probably hear these words and be like, oh, that's terrible. And if you use these words, then they probably think that you don't have the vocabulary to replace them with something better or more fitting. In all honesty, have some phlegm. In all honesty, the real curse words are words we use in our every single day, in our everyday lives. Homophones, which are words that sound the same but mean something completely different, and they may be spelled differently. In our minds, some of the words that we use are homophones, okay? And in our minds, we believe we know the difference, but does our subconscious mind actually know what we mean? Even just normal things that we say every single day. Words can be a gift, or words can be a curse, okay? The way you spell causes spells. I need to stop touching my glasses. We use the phrase good morning pretty much every single day, right? But does the subconscious mind know the difference between the morning of the day and the morning of death? How can morning be good at all? I mean, in a sense, it can be good because I guess it's a healing process. But mourning means, it's a celebration of you're sad because somebody just passed away, or you're going through some hardships and you're mourning. But I guess getting through the process of mourning would eventually turn into being something good. But it's a process. Mourning is a process. As far as my opinion goes. Our subconscious mind understands in a completely different way from the subconscious mind. Now, logically, we know that good morning means top of the day, how do you do, so on and so forth. But does the subconscious mind understand logic? We don't know. The words we hear, the things we see, all goes deep into our subconscious mind, which is why the way we feel and feel about things is usually what is manifested into our world. The new term these days is I'm dead. Usually said about something so funny, I just died. Most of the people walking around saying it are probably actually walking around spiritually dead, mentally dead, and don't even know it. pH balance so fucked up, body so acidic from all the bullshit they eat and consume. Actually, pH level sitting on the edge of death. Fuck around, keep saying to be dead tomorrow and shit. So then their family will be mourning, show up at the wake when they awake in the morning. You feel me? Crazy, it's confusing, right? We go to work during the weekdays to earn a living wage. Then can't wait till the weekend to kick it. But how can you kick it if you're weakened? Who got the weak end of that deal? Sometimes we burn ashes of the dead and put them in the urn. So you have to be in a weak days to earn a living wage. It's confusing. It's crazy as hell. Curse words. We curse ourselves every day using these words, and we have no idea what we're using or what we're saying or the etymology of these words. Okay? But the thing is, if you search any of this stuff on Google or anything like that, or even look it up, because the definition of words as far as the current dictionaries and everything goes is updated so much to pretty much form, because even the definition of racism has changed over time. Racism used to mean the systematic oppression of the people. Now racism means if you don't like a certain race or anything like that, then you're racist, which is why white people call us racist or try to use reverse racism, which that actually doesn't exist at all. But the thing is, they look online and actually see what racism means, and it means, okay, if you're black, I don't like you, or if you white, I don't like you, or if you it's so confusing. They confuse the people, and they pretty much shaped it to where now they make everybody think that they're racist or anybody can be racist, when that's obviously not the case. Charlie Red is calling me, and I'm working on this podcast, so he's gonna have to wait. Where was I at? I just got off on a tangent, and so this English language is crazy. And why is there so many different words that mean and sound, that sound exactly the same but are totally different? Like, who came up with this language? Like, it's pretty much a correlation of all these different types of languages and stuck into one thing. So they kind of think they got lazy or got lost, or they just said fuck it and just say, I guess we'll figure it out. We got there, and there. We got 1 and 1. We got 2, 2 and 2. It's too much. Or is it just to confuse us? To cast spells on ourselves to pretty much keep us in the state that we are in. They had us writing in cursive when I was in school. Cursive. So is it good that they took it away then? To take the spells away? To take the curses away? I don't know. Language is powerful. And when we speak or are spoken to, our subconscious mind translates it into whatever it understands. Translates. It's deep. But how can we crack the code? Do we just eliminate certain words from our vocabulary? If so, then that would mean that we would probably have to read more. We would have to start reading more, okay? Read more books, read the dictionary, even though it's shaped into whatever they want it to be, because the powers that be control it. It's still a good way to learn different words, okay? Different books. It doesn't even have to be those books. They can be different kind of books. Think and Grow Rich, Power, Influence, and Persuasion, The Psychology of Winning, Black Like Me. I got my camera sitting on the stack of some of my books here, so that's why I'm just reading those. The Wealth of Nations, all these different books. There's so many different books. You can learn so many different words and phrases, and anything. So we got to start building our vocabulary, right? And another thing is, we as melanated people need to understand the negative connotation associated with the word black. And as far as me, I love being black. I'm proud to be black. I'm proud to be melanated, I should say. But we have to see what they did with the word black. Black male, black ball, black sheep, black swamp. The worst of the ice is black ice. So why is everything that's bad black, and everything that's clean, pure, and good is white? And also, why do you think they hate us so much? They've been programmed just as much as us, but in a completely different fashion. So that's another thing that we have to understand, okay? So, in conclusion, because this can go on all day, there's so many words and phrases out here that we don't realize that we're actually using that's pretty much detrimental to us and our subconscious and our reality, because like I said, your subconscious shapes your reality and the way you see the world. So that's one thing we need to understand. Like, okay, we see things in a logical sense. Maybe some people do, some people don't. But the subconscious, whatever you see, whatever you hear, whatever is from your childhood up till now at this point that you're seeing this or hearing this, your subconscious has shaped everything that is happening to your life, whether you realize it or not. So let's begin to build our vocabulary. Okay, we gotta read more. There's so many books out here. There's so many now. They say knowledge is hidden in the books. Facts. That's truth. And we gotta start picking up the books, people. Like I said, Think and Grow Rich, Psychology of Winning, Black Like Me, Power, Influence, Persuasion, Wealth of Nations. Fucking read how to play chess. You know, it's so many other books. Yeah, I can't think of the other book that's in my. They were here before Columbus. You know, any Napoleon Hill book. I mean, not Napoleon Hill, but Robert Greene is who I meant to say. As far as the art of seduction, you know, the art of war, even Sun Tzu, art of war. There's so many books out here that you can read that can start to build your vocabulary. And if it's a word that you don't know or understand, look it up, Google it. Google is your friend. Let's extend our minds because it's low level thinking, these low level vibrations, it's what's keeping us in this lower state. So we have to rise above. We have to raise the vibes, okay? And another thing too, before I go, words are powerful, language is powerful, but some things are only as powerful as you make them, okay? Ladies, guys even, somebody call you a bitch and you don't like it, somebody call you a pussy. If you don't like it, if it's coming from somebody you don't like, that's only as powerful as you make it, okay? Of course, you just want to slap the shit out somebody. Sometimes I want to slap the shit out of people too, but we have to learn to control our anger. We have to learn to control our emotions because that is actually another thing that's going to raise our vibrations, okay? I think I unplugged my laptop, but I don't need it. That's another thing that's going to raise our vibrations because whatever angers you is going to control. Whatever angers you definitely controls you. Because if you can't control your anger, then what has that control over you. And that's with anything as far as eating all the fucking time and eating this unhealthy shit. That's the shit that controls you, because if you can't stop eating it, or if you always have these cravings to eat this bullshit, that's also going to keep you in this low state, because it's going to keep your pH level low, it's going to keep your body acidic, and it's going to make you sick, and that also manifests into your life every day, whether you know it or not. So, one time for the queens, two times for the kings. Peace.